What's the point of success if you lose yourself on the way there? Think about that for a moment. We chase, we run, we grind, from morning till night, day after day, trying to be someone, trying to get somewhere. But what if, in the end, you don't even recognize who you've become? Success. The word sounds powerful. It's everywhere, on billboards, in books, on your feed, in your mind. It whispers to you, keep going. It shouts, do more, but rarely. Does it ever ask, are you okay? You see, the world has convinced us that success is about things, cars, money, titles, applause. But deep down, something inside you knows the truth. It knows that none of it matters. If you have to sacrifice your soul just to reach the top, and maybe you've already felt it, that quiet emptiness after reaching a goal, that voice that says, why don't I feel proud? That moment when you smile on the outside, but you're tired on the inside. You're not alone. Every day, millions of people push themselves to the limit. They wear a mask. They smile when they're breaking. They hustle, while silently wondering, is this really it? That's because we've been taught to measure life in numbers, bank balances, follower counts, job promotions, but no one teaches us how to protect what's priceless. Ourselves, your peace, your joy, your mental health, your real identity. These are not optional. They are the foundation of everything. Because what good is success if you can't sleep at night? What's the point of being admired if you hate the person you've become? Let this message sink in. This isn't a warning. It's a reminder. You don't have to destroy yourself to be successful. You don't have to become someone else just to be accepted. You don't need to lose your smile to win the race. You're allowed to slow down. You're allowed to set boundaries. You're allowed to succeed on your own terms. Because real success isn't about impressing others. It's about feeling whole when no one's watching. There is a way to reach the top and still feel alive when you get there. A way to grow without burning out. A way to win without losing the most important person in your life, you. And in this video, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. How to succeed in life without giving up your soul, without breaking your spirit, without waking up one day and realizing you've become a stranger to yourself. If you've ever felt like you're working hard but drifting away from who you truly are, if you've ever felt lost in a world that keeps pushing you to do more, be more, prove more, then this video is for you. Because by the end of this journey, you won't just understand how to succeed. You'll know how to stay grounded, stay honest, and stay you, every step of the way. And here's your reward for watching till the end, clarity. The kind of clarity that changes lives. The kind that helps you break free from the noise. And finally start walking a path that feels right. Not the path they told you to follow, but the one that makes your heart beat faster. The one that gives you peace, not pressure, joy, not just performance. This is not just another motivational speech. This is your wake-up call. Because you don't need to chase a version of success that was never meant for you. You don't need to lose yourself trying to become who the world wants you to be. You only need to remember one thing. You were living in a world that celebrates speed, chasing more, reaching higher, running faster. And somewhere in this race we were told, this is success. Work harder than everyone, sleep less, smile more, climb the ladder, collect titles, stack achievements, keep moving, don't stop, don't think, just go. But here's the truth, no one tells you. Success, the way it's sold to you, is an illusion. It promises happiness, it promises respect, it promises peace, but it often delivers pressure, exhaustion, and silence. You see people on the outside who seem to have it all. Nice cars, perfect homes, applause. But look closely, and you'll often see something missing. Joy, presence, peace. Because somewhere along the way, success became a performance. Not a feeling, not a truth, but an act we all feel pressured to play. You smile when you're breaking. You post your wins and hide your wounds. You pretend you're fine, even when you're falling apart. Why? Because the world only claps when you're rising. It turns away when you're real. But here's the question that breaks the illusion. If success costs your identity, is it worth it? If you have to lie to yourself just to get applause, if you have to become someone else to feel accepted, then what are you actually winning? The truth is, success isn't found in the eyes of the world. It's found in your own reflection. Can you look at yourself and feel proud? Not just of what you built, but of who you've become. Because the cars, the titles, the applause, they fade. But your peace, your values, your inner truth, that's the kind of success that lasts forever. It's time to stop chasing the illusion and start building something real. Success always looks shiny from a distance, but up close, it often comes with a cost most people never talk about. People give up sleep to chase it. They sacrifice time with family. They ignore their health, their peace, their hearts, just to reach a number, a goal, a title. They trade quiet mornings for endless meetings, laughter for stress, connection for isolation. All for what? To prove they're worth something, to feel important, to finally be enough. But here's the hard truth. If you're constantly empty inside, no amount of success will ever fill you. Some people wake up at 40 or 50 and realize they climbed the wrong mountain. They chased what the world wanted and lost everything that actually mattered. They lost their identity trying to fit in, lost their energy proving their value, lost their peace trying to silence the fear that said, "You're still not good enough." This is the price of chasing the wrong kind of success. It doesn't show up all at once. It shows up slowly, as anxiety, as burnout, as feeling like a stranger in your own life. And the world, it will keep clapping as long as you keep producing, but it will never stop to ask how you're really doing. That's why so many people feel alone at the top. They got there, but they paid with their soul. And you don't have to pay that price. You can still aim high, dream big, and work hard, but not at the cost of your inner peace. Because real success doesn't destroy you. It builds you. It lifts you. It keeps you whole. Never forget, the biggest failure is succeeding at something that steals your joy. Can succeed and still stay true to who you are. So stay with me. You've already taken the first step. Now let's walk this path together. In all this noise, have you ever paused and asked yourself, who am I really? Not the version the world sees, not the image you post, or not the role you play, but you. The one behind the smile, the one who stays awake at night thinking, the one who wonders, is this the life I truly want? We grow up learning how to fit in, to follow rules, please others, to get approval, validation, praise, and slowly, without even noticing, we start becoming what others expect, not who we were born to be. And then one day, you look in the mirror and feel disconnected. You've checked all the boxes, done everything right, but something feels wrong. That's your inner voice, the part of you that's still real, still pure, still waiting to be seen. It doesn't want perfection. It doesn't want fame. It just wants the truth. And the truth is this: if you forget who you are, no amount of success will ever feel fulfilling. You have to come back to yourself. Before the pressure, before the pretending, before the world told you who to be. Because the greatest power you have is your authenticity. When you know who you are, you stop chasing everything that isn't meant for you. You stop saying yes to things that drain you. You stop living for applause and start living with purpose. So ask yourself honestly, what do I value? What brings me peace? What makes me feel alive? Because if you don't know the answers, the world will answer for you. And it will always lead you away from your truth. But if you're brave enough to ask, and even braver to listen, you'll begin to build a life that feels real, strong, free. Not a life that looks good, but a life that feels right. From the moment you open your eyes, the world starts teaching you how to think, what to chase, what to fear, what to believe success looks like. You don't even realize it. But every scroll, every ad, every voice around you is programming your mind, telling you you're not enough. Yet, work harder, look better, buy more, be like them, and without knowing it, you fall into the trap. You start comparing, competing, performing. You stop living for you and start living for likes, validation, and approval. It's silent, but powerful. It teaches you to hate slowness, to feel guilty for resting, to believe your worth comes from how much you achieve, not who you are inside. This is how society steals your identity, quietly, not with force, but with constant noise, with the pressure to prove something, to always be more, to never feel like enough. But here's the truth. You were born enough, before the world put labels on you, before the pressure, before the expectations. And if you don't wake up to this programming, it will keep running your life. You'll keep chasing what others told you to want. You'll keep climbing ladders you don't even believe in. But once you see it, once you become aware, everything starts to change. You begin to notice the lies. You begin to question the chase. And most importantly, you begin to reclaim your power. Because freedom doesn't come from reaching the top. It comes from breaking the script. The one that says you must hustle till you break. That success is status. That your value depends on others' opinions. You get to choose a different path, not one written by the world, but one written by your own heart. Real success doesn't start with money. It doesn't start with fame. It doesn't even start with goals. It starts within, inside your mind, inside your heart, inside the quiet space where no one is watching, but everything matters. Because if you don't feel whole on the inside, nothing on the outside will satisfy you. You'll keep achieving, but never arriving. You'll keep chasing, but always feeling behind. True success is not about becoming someone the world praises. It's about becoming someone you're proud of. It's peace when you close your eyes at night. It's integrity when no one is looking. It's waking up and knowing you're not pretending, not performing, just living real. That kind of success doesn't come from pressure. It comes from alignment. From knowing your actions match your values. From doing what feels right in your soul, even if it's not popular. The world will try to convince you that success is always loud, flashy, busy, constant. But some of the most successful people are the quietest. They move with purpose, not noise. They choose peace over popularity, growth over applause, truth over trend. And that's the shift. When you stop chasing validation and start chasing meaning, you don't need a crowd to be successful. You need clarity. You need courage. You need to stay close to what makes you feel alive. Because when you're at peace within, you stop comparing. You stop proving. Or you just live fully, freely, honestly. That's where success truly begins. Not out there, not in things, but in you. Everything changes the moment you become aware, not just of your habits, not just of your goals, but of your thoughts, your patterns, your true desires. Self-awareness is the beginning of real transformation. It's the mirror you stop avoiding. It's the moment you pause and say, why am I really doing this? Who am I trying to impress? Is this what I want or what I was told to want? Most people never ask these questions. They stay busy, distracted, comfortable in routines that drain them, chasing dreams that aren't even their own. But self-awareness wakes you up. It pulls you out of autopilot. It shows you what's real and what's just noise. It gives you the strength to stop following and start leading yourself. Because you can't build a life that fits you until you know who you are. And when you know who you are, deeply, honestly, you stop settling, you stop pretending, you stop needing permission to live your truth. That's the power of awareness. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's quiet, but life-changing. You begin to see your patterns, why you overthink, why you burn out, why you say yes when you want to say no. And once you see it, you can change it. You can choose better. You can build differently. You can create success that doesn't suffocate you but sets you free. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, being awake in your own life, fully connected to who you are and who you want to become. Because when you're self-aware, you don't just succeed by accident, you succeed by design. One of the heaviest prisons in life is the need for approval, the need to be liked, to be accepted, to be seen as successful in the eyes of others. So you wear the mask, you say the right things, you follow the path they expect from you, all while your inner voice is whispering, this isn't me, this isn't what I want, this isn't who I am. And yet, you keep going because you're afraid of what will happen if you stop, if you disappoint someone, if you let them down, if they think you've failed. But here's the truth. Living for approval is a trap that never ends. You can get all the praise in the world and still feel empty. You can be admired by thousands and still not admire yourself. Because when your worth depends on others, you give them the power to control your life. You stop taking risks. You stop speaking your truth. You shrink just to fit in. But ask yourself this. What if you never get their approval? What if the world never claps? Will you keep living small just to avoid judgment? Or will you choose to live real, even if it means standing alone? Because freedom comes the moment you stop begging to be liked. and start living to be true. You don't need everyone to understand your journey. You don't need their permission to follow your passion. You don't need applause to feel enough. What you need is self-respect. What you need is to look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of the person I'm becoming. Let the world judge. Let them misunderstand. That's not your burden to carry. Your job is to stay loyal to your soul, to walk your path even if no one claps, because the right people will respect your truth. And more importantly, you will too. And that's a kind of success no one can take away from you. Success doesn't mean saying yes to everything. In fact, some of the most powerful people know when to say no. Because boundaries are not just rules for others, they are gifts you give yourself. Without boundaries, you lose your energy. You lose your focus, you lose your peace. It's easy to get caught in the trap of pleasing everyone, taking on every task, answering every call, trying to be everywhere at once. But that only leads to burnout, stress that builds up quietly until one day it breaks you. Real success means protecting what matters most, your time, your energy, your mental health. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It's necessary. It's the way you say, I respect myself enough to guard my peace. When you say no to things that don't serve you, you say yes to the things that truly matter. You create space for growth, for rest, for focus, and with that space, your success becomes sustainable. Not just a sprint, but a marathon. Remember, you are your most important asset. If you don't protect your well-being, everything else falls apart. So start setting boundaries today. Learn to say no without guilt. Choose your energy wisely. And watch how your life changes. Because success without peace is failure in disguise. But success with peace, that is freedom. And that is how failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success, a necessary step on the path to growth. Most people fear failure. They see it as a sign they're not good enough, as a reason to quit, as proof that they don't belong. But what if failure is actually the greatest teacher you'll ever have? Every successful person has failed, not once but many times. They didn't stop because they stumbled. They stopped when they stopped learning. Failure strips away the fake layers. It shows you what doesn't work. It reveals your weaknesses so you can become stronger. It humbles you. It teaches you patience. It forces you to reflect. Without failure, you never grow. You never evolve. You stay stuck in the same place, afraid to move. But when you embrace failure, you embrace courage. You embrace resilience. You embrace the real journey. So stop fearing failure. Stop hiding from it. Instead, welcome it. Learn from it. Let it shape you into the person you need to become. Because success is not about never falling. It's about getting up every single time. And the more you do, the stronger you become. The closer you get to the life you truly want. Failure is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally, if you let it be. In the race to succeed, many forget the most important person, themselves. Self-care is often seen as a luxury or a weakness, but it's actually the foundation of everything. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give your best to your dreams, your work, or your loved ones if you neglect your own well-being. Self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary. It's how you recharge your mind, body, and spirit. Rest, reflection, and kindness toward yourself are not distractions from success. They are part of the journey. When you prioritize self-care, you become stronger, more focused, more resilient. You learn to listen to your body when it's tired, your mind when it's overwhelmed, your heart when it needs peace. This creates balance. Balance that keeps you grounded in who you are. Balance that prevents burnout and keeps passion alive. So don't wait until you're exhausted to rest. Don't wait until you're broken to heal. Make self-care a daily habit. Protect your mental space. Nourish your soul. Because success that costs your health, happiness, or peace is not success at all. True success includes taking care of yourself without guilt, without apology. You deserve that much, and your journey depends on it.